I think we're
And we are live and back with the Metamystic Podcast, Psychic Sundays Live. Hey everyone, how are you doing, magical family? I am back in the UFO seat with my co-pilot, the amazing, the mystical, the magical better half, Lady O.
I'm an intuitive empath, and thank you for joining us. I see some people waiting. We're really excited to be here with you guys.
I like that y'all lining up in the queue, because when you're waiting for that party to start, the club hasn't opened, but you wait outside, waiting for the doors to open.
As you can see, we've been partying before we got on.
It's always a party when the rain is coming down, guys, in SoCal, in Southern California, in the City of Angels. It is a storm. They call it the Pineapple Express.
Pineapple Express.
I always just thought that was the movie, and then I heard it today.
It's an actual storm. Yeah.
Why?
Why is it called that?
Yeah.
I think, does it come from Hawaii?
Oh, it comes from Hawaii.
It might come from Hawaii. I don't know, but it's giant and it's coming over us. And we're so glad that we actually have a signal and that we're not cut off with power. So we're like, let's get this in.
But if it does go out,
happens.
it's not the spirit guides, though it might be the spirit guides, actually. Know. It is actually the powers that be, the spirits of the elements of nature who are saying, chill out.
Let me say hello to a few folks out there.
Give some shout outs.
Yes, we have Arthur's in the house. Taylor, everybody let us know where you're coming from in the world. We'd love to say hello.
Yep.
We have Shelly and we have Crystal Waters. Hello. We have Kara Khan. Miss Mermaid. Hi, Miss Mermaid. Jennifer D. Buckshot. What's up, Buck? Arthur again, blah, blah, blah. Let's see. We can go on.
High five, high five, high five.
And people are already giving their super chats. We have a few new rules we would like to add.
Yeah, we have to shape it like a clay pot that as it's going on the spinner, that's what this show is like.
Yes.
We started with a lump of clay.
That's correct.
Now it's spinning due to all the whirlwind energy of you guys.
Right. So we had to figure out how we can make this last as we grow, because the more and more people show up, we have to make sure we can
We gotta contain this 3-ring circus, y'all.
Okay.
We gotta be like P.T. Barnum. This is going in it's like everybody's jumping in. We started off with 9,000 subscribers. Let me check this out. Back in the 1st of October, we were 9,000. We're at 55,000. High five, everyone.
Yeah, this is our 19th episode.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's where we're at. So we need to kind of
good.
Erica is going to
Erica give our resident
yell hi, Erica.
In the house.
Hi.
A voice from the other side.
A voice from the other side.
The other side of the table.
So people are telling us that they could actually hear Erica, so I'm not going to have to repeat after her. So that's great.
So she's going to kind of put the house rules so we know how we're going to organize questions.
Yes.
So if you guys are just dropping in for the first time,
right?
It is because we are, first of all, welcome. And this is Live Psychic Sundays. We're just chilling, inviting you into our living room, where this is what usually has been happening on Sunday nights for the last 15 years of us, where we just drop in with the spirit guides and offer messages to our friends. And then, now you guys are our expanded friends. So the readings are for free.
Yes.
You can do a super chat, but there's a small change here, guys. The super chats are no longer just we're not doing super chats go to the top of the queue. Super chats are if you are feeling in your loving, generous state of being and you love having this kind of content come for you and bring to you, then just give us the super chat at whatever you like. That's fine. I will do my best to try to answer as many questions as I can, but
super chat or not super chat.
Super chat, you don't have to pay for a reading.
We're going to answer, but we can't get to everybody, so we're going to try to get to as many people as we can.
Right.
And we've learned to slow down a bit, so we're figuring it out. We're figuring it out as we go along.
It's like an evening at home.
Because we go 2 hours, as you guys know. And if you're new to the channel, welcome. And we've been having a blast. We missed our last broadcast.
Yep.
was kind of feeling like he needed to rest. He's been going strong. So here we are back.
It's all that Pluto energy.
Yeah.
That what Pluto moved out of it. So Erica, this is what I've been saying. What do you know about it? Is it about every 248 years Pluto changes?
Yes. So
it goes in a cycle of 248 years?
I think it's like 200.
That's one cycle, but then there's also a 14-year cycle.
Okay, so some of us.
New astrology.
So I don't know. I was just feeling that I was really exhausted last Sunday, and I was really looking forward to being with you guys. But, I can't do it unless I want to be present for everyone and be really at my best, because you got to take care of yourself.
Yeah. When you are an instrument, as some of you know, as healers, a lot of healers follow us, you have to take care of your instrument, as you know, right? And especially when you've been doing this for so long and your volume is very high on how many people you see on a regular basis or talk to. So shaman work he does and phone readings. And then on top of this, everything we do in the filming and everything. So management is key. And
so you pace yourself. I think that we have all been, I think the world in general was going so fast. Then 4 years ago, we had the lockdown, and then we're just like learning to balance energies again now, and how to dedicate time to yourself and know that there's Bruce Lee once said, love Bruce Lee, is one of my spirit guides. And he had once spoken about doing nothing. And he was sitting with a bunch of his friends, and he said, I'm going to have a day where I do nothing tomorrow. I'm not going to work on my body. I'm not going to work on my business. I'm not going to make any calls. And here comes someone who does nothing. Look, everyone. Did you hear that? Oh, man. You want to say hello? You want to sit here?
She has her silent
This
meow
is Poof, the magical Poof. I named her Poof because it's the sound when magic happens.
And
Poof.
she only just wants to come just to say hello. Do you notice?
Like she jumped down.
She doesn't stay on your lap like Moomy does.
Yeah.
She just wants to say hello. This is her way. And she's so young. She's like less than 2 years old.
So anyway, I was saying that, Bruce Lee.
Yes.
Said, I'm going to do nothing. So one of his friends goes, that's great. I want to do that too. So, so I'll come over and hang out with you. We'll just do nothing all day tomorrow. And he goes, no. He goes, if you come over, then I'm doing something.
Right.
And when I was younger, I was like, no, your friend can come over and you can do nothing. That's cool. But that time alone, especially, listen, you all have spirit guides. Everyone in every culture, there's a reference to you are not alone, whether it's a religion, they tell you have angels around you, or whether it is some other belief system, the older religions, the tribal religions, they have always said we have guides.
Yeah.
When did you first really know that you had guides?
Oh, you're going to open that can of worms?
Why is it worms?
Because I got lots of stories.
It's a treasure chest. It's not worms.
I guess that's true.
Yeah.
First of all, I was very young when I started to see and feel guides. But the first time I actually visually saw guides. And that is right before I met you, when I was going through my big awakening, my big rebirth.
Yeah.
For those of you who want to call in your twin flame, sometimes when you go through your biggest death and let go of everything and just admit, because I was ending marriage number I'm not going to tell you, and I was like at the end of my rope with 5 kids, and I just finally just surrendered that I failed this life and it's over and I give up completely. And in that moment, that's when I had my big awakening, my big breakthrough. I think I was awake for 2 weeks. I didn't sleep during that time. And I had met you around that time, of course, no accident, right? You were magnetized, called in.
Right.
And that is when I started to see my first apparitions, my first spirit guide apparitions.
Now, did you see them while you were awake or kind of in the half dreaming state?
No, I was awake and the room was dark. Like it was kind of like almost not totally black, but dark. I was falling asleep. I was awake. And at the foot of my bed, I saw these very thin blue filaments, like flickering in and out, like very gently, very, very delicate. And it was like an outline of a person. And this happened for those 2 weeks. And there were several of them. And then when you told me you were a psychic medium, I was like, oh, that's interesting, because here's what I've been experiencing. And you told me, I described what they look like, and you knew.
So that was the first time.
That was the first time I really had.
Well, it's interesting because you said you were falling asleep. And guys, that's a very important time, because it is where one part of you is going into the other dimensions, which are the higher frequencies, when your mind is quieter, when the background noise of the day is gone and you're in the quiet of your room, and there's just less electrical things on, but those are also frequencies that are filling the air. And when the electricity at nighttime in your city, in your state, your part of the world, think about it. All the lights go down like 50%. All the electricity goes down 50%. So these are less frequencies in the air. So you being the conduit, you are a conduit. You not only are you a conduit of electricity, because you're made of water and electricity goes through you.
Right.
We like to float around to different topics. And something that I wanted to say, because you know how I like to wear my rings, right? So I got an obsidian.
Do you want to know a story about your obsidian?
Do I want to know a story about my obsidian?
That's correct.
Yeah.
The last video we were talking.
My obsidian's talking about me behind my back, apparently.
Listen, we hate
that about obsidians.
We did one of our recordings, our pre-recorded shows. Last week.
Yeah.
And we had a long talk about obsidians.
Yeah.
And we were looking for it.
And I was wearing it.
And you were wearing it.
That is crazy.
And the whole time the ring was facing the camera.
And I was like, where's my... I need an obsidian. I need an obsidian. The obsidian is known to neutralize a lot of things.
Right.
Now, so anyway, elements, right? Labradorite, obsidian, whatever crystals or stones you guys like. Think about this. When we ingest plant foods, we're ingesting minerals, which come from rock. They're minerals. And obsidian is a mineral. It's not a crystal. Crystals are like rose quartz or selenite. That's technically.
But yet everybody says crystals.
Crystals is our new age way of describing all that yummy stuff we want to buy every time we go in those stores.
Right.
Everything in here is a crystal. But the actual geological structure of a crystal looks like a lattice inside. And anyway, what I was getting to is that our body, our etheric body, which is our spiritual energy, our chi, our prana, that is nutrified. Is that a word? Is nutrified?
I think it is a word.
We made it up.
We have our resident Virgo in the house. Is nutrified a word? We have some entomologists. Is that the correct way of saying it in the chats?
Etymologists.
Etymologists. What did I say? I make up words. Listen, I'm Shakespeare, okay?
It probably means
Don't
something.
Get it, yeah.
Somewhere.
Don't be mistaken. I'm
in some
Shakespeare,
dimension,
and
it
I
means
do
something.
make up words regularly. No shame in the game, y'all.
Okay, so while your body absorbs minerals for the functioning of your body, your organs, minerals, through the food, your etheric body absorbs through the different stones and crystals you wear.
Okay.
So that electrical field of your body.
So this amber, which has always been very
special to you.
You're
not supposed to touch anybody's necklace. I mean, you're the only person on earth I would allow to do that. You can wear my jewelry, but what I'm saying is, I just wanted to teach everybody something. You should never go up to someone. She can actually have all my jewelry. Okay, so you never go up to someone and go, "Oh, what a nice crystal," and then you grab their crystal. Guys, that is a very personal totem for each person. They're wearing it for a specific reason. You should always just admire it or just say, "Hi, oh my goodness." Don't even ask to touch it. There's no reason for you to touch somebody else's crystal.
These are the rules.
Okay? You got it. Okay. Other than that, anything in the world you want to talk about?
Yeah, actually, first of all, we had a very exciting week in filming, and we have to just go over it real quick because you guys don't understand. It's been really, really fun, and we want you to go check these out. So I gave my empath talk, finally, that everybody's been asking about, because every time we have chats come in and people ask questions, there are some questions that are very empath related, and I look out for those and I try to take those questions and answer them myself.
Right.
So I just did this one whole big long video, and I could do more. And I think it's helped a lot of people. They're telling me that it was really great. And so check that out if you haven't had a chance. Then the last video we did was so exciting. We did the UFO video, the episode.
We did a show called the UFO Show, where we're just, I have been a ufologist or ufolic or whatever word you want to say about anyone who's been obsessed with UFOs. That's been me for my whole life.
Yes.
And if we have any people who are over 40 who are watching, there used to be a show, as you remember, it used to be called In Search Of, that was on in late 70s, 80s. And it was hosted by Mr. Leonard Nimoy, Mr. Spock, watching from the other side now.
Who loves Leonard Nimoy?
If you love Leonard Nimoy, do this to the screen.
Yes, you have to tell everybody if you love Leonard Nimoy, because he was...
talk about an icon, right?
Yeah.
So he hosted that show called In Search Of, and that was one of the first shows, if not the first show, where they explored the unknown, the mysteries, from UFOs to Loch Ness Monster to Bigfoot. And it had a profound effect on me. And that was where, my brothers weren't into that. See, that's why I know that you come into life with certain interests.
You're the lone wolf. Usually there's one lone wolf per family. It's the healer, it's the teacher, it's the spiritual teacher. And I
call it the rainbow sheep of the family.
Yeah, because you're usually the one that's given the hardest time because nobody understands them. And I'm sure the entire chat room is filled with lone wolves. we all pack together. But
lone wolf power.
Yeah, seriously.
But I guess we're not lone wolves anymore if we're all here hanging out together.
Well, this is our community, and that's what we love about it. So you're not alone. Most people experience this, though. They're the lone wolf in their family, and they're the only ones bringing certain technologies and information and talking about things that nobody else is
Don't
talking
you guys
about.
love that you guys were into whatever is new age to you, but let's say that it's about crystals, or it was about yoga or meditation or breath work or plant medicine and spirit guides, and 10 years ago, just 10 years ago, people in your family were like, whatever. Yeah. Now, UFO hearings in the Senate.
Right.
You can buy crystals like at Nordstrom's, those
Right.
like rose quartz crystals.
Right.
Yoga is in every corner.
Let me tell you
have
something.
rappers wearing amethysts.
Yep.
You have 14-year-olds on TikTok talking about auras and astrology and what's your rising sign, what's your spirit animal. And you have 60, 70, 80-year-old people doing sacred plant medicine ceremonies, from ayahuasca to mushrooms to frog medicine, who are changing their lives. So you guys, high five. You were right all this time.
And I don't quote the Bible often, but I will say in the Bible it says that those that would be last will be first, and the ones that will be first will be last. And this is what's happening, because those of us who have been ridiculed and made fun of and rejected and families torn apart, and nobody believes us and they think we're all cuckoo,
right,
or whatever, we're like in kind of pushed to the side and not respected. And what's happening as the times are changing and as the pressure cooker is building and everything's happening in the world, guess who's rising to the occasion?
Who?
Guess who's coming to the front of the line? All of us that have been focused on creating a better reality for ourselves,
and it was
high
never,
vibrational
exactly.
living, through understanding mystics, the mystic, lifestyle.
Listen, we wanted everyone. You guys
It's all
wanted
happening.
to get people, your friends, and you wanted people to come on board and to be with you and to join you. It's not like you thought people in our kind of community, if you want to say, or our way of thinking, it was never about being better than anyone. We're always like, hey, listen to this, check this out, you should try this. And so many people were afraid to try it now. And this is not just because we live in Los Angeles. I'm talking, look, I've gone to so many small towns in America and around the world, and I'm seeing these influences, right? So,
Yep.
Psychic readings, one of the things that I love to do is to sit back with my Halloween cup, because you know what? I saw this cup, this mug, my Halloween mug.
Yeah.
And I said, I'm not waiting till September.
Yeah, to hell with that. We choose to celebrate Halloween whenever we want to celebrate.
Yeah, and then in
Halloween.
July, I'm going to pull out my Christmas mug.
That's right. That's how we do things. Well,
By the way, guys, we took our Christmas tree down. Was it last night?
We finally took our Christmas
I like to
tree
keep it
down.
all of January.
We
it went
do.
went 2 days over.
Yeah.
And it was like, wait, that vibration is not here.
We're done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got to
We
clear
milked
it
it
out.
for all we could.
I came home and it was, you had
Gone.
You had and not only did you just take the tree
Annihilated.
down, but you had not only did you take the tree down, but you also had kind of like literally changed the whole energy of that area.
Yeah,
After you take the
redecorated it.
tree down, guys, sage, clean physically,
I cleaned
and then
it.
sage.
I put a bright summer plant. I put a chair. I made it completely different.
Yeah.
So are you ready to open the floor for questions, and then we can start going through and picking them soon? Because, they have to get a head start. So if you
Sure.
guys want to start asking your questions.
I'm sure they are.
Erica's going to give the rules. Make sure when you do your mediumship questions that you give your name. You don't need to give any last names, and the name of the person you're asking for and your relationship to them.
And when did they pass?
And when did they pass? And that's it. As far as every other question, if there's any empath questions.
If
I
there's
will
questions
take those.
about, like, if you're going through something
Yeah.
that is on the emotional level,
Like
because it's not just
ascension.
about, we're not just taking psychic readings, guys. We're also doing, because,
Yeah.
O is here to talk to you about, things that we all go through. And that is kind of like, you cannot just have your psychic connected path without your emotional well-being, understanding how you're creating your reality. All these go together. This is where psychic readings now, as they should be going,
Right.
is understanding how we're creating our reality, as well as tapping into the unseen world where we do have our spirit guides working with us. To me, this is a real holistic approach,
Yes.
rather than the old school psychic way, which was, this is going to happen on that day, heed my
Right.
warnings, better look out. That is
Yeah.
what they needed. Perhaps they needed that back then.
We're tired of warnings, y'all.
Not what we need now.
We like to talk constructive conversations that really actually work in your practical life. We also, there was one more thing. If you want to know know who your spirit guides are, you're more than welcome to ask. If you want to just know who your main guide is, or a couple guides working with you. If you have any pets that have crossed on to the other side, you can also ask for your pet when they cross, the name, and if it's a dog or cat or whatever, that's fine.
And we're just going to go, I'm going to kind of...
And we're just going to
pick because, listen, guys, it's also about... I get messages before I even start. Some people on the other side will come through, and I'll say their name, and I'll say, who does this person belong to? I might say their name to you, if it rings true for you. It could also be that there's a specific message for you. I have my spirit guides working with me, Red Eagle, Phineas, Merlin. Those are my main spirit guides who work with me. A couple of others, of course.
Oh, yeah,
by the way, you guys have when you have spirit guides, you have a team. It's not that you have just one. Everyone has their role. So one of their roles is that there's a gatekeeper. Now, the gatekeeper is kind of the one who keeps the gate, right? Oh, what do you know? That's the name of it. They're kind of like the bouncer at the club who checks IDs of the other spirits who want to give you a message. Some of them don't belong in the club because they're just, low level, so to speak, meaning they don't have your best interests at heart. There are spirits like that, just like there are people like that. So your gatekeeper makes sure that your true guides come through, right? And they're usually with you, usually your whole life. You don't usually change gatekeepers. Sometimes there's a temporary gatekeeper, though. Did you know that? Red Eagle was not my gatekeeper initially.
You had a very interesting...
I got a trivia question for you with us.
Yeah.
What was the name of my gatekeeper before Red Eagle?
Rudy.
No. You were right with the first letter, though.
What?
Yeah.
Rose.
I had a gatekeeper.
Red Rose.
You're pretty close. I'm really surprised. You're close. It was Rosebud.
Rosebud. I knew it had to do with the rose.
Okay.
But you had a wonderful guide, Rudy. We love Rudy.
Rudy was not my gatekeeper. He's one of my guides, though.
Oh. What's his full title?
So there was a gentleman by the name of Rudrananda. So he was born with the name Rudolph, and people called him Rudy. He was a psychic and a mystic from New York City. This must have been in the 60s and 70s. And then he really was growing in his evolution. He became basically a guru and a shaman. And so they started calling him Rudrananda. So they would take the word Rudy and add Ananda, which is a very holy guru term that you add onto people's names in India. So he was Rudrananda. Mm-hmm. And you can look him up. He was amazing. He kind of talked like with a Brooklyn accent, a little bit like that, and he gave messages talking like that. It was really cool.
I wish you could do your whole entire episode today with that accent.
Yeah, but see, that's not I'm from the Bronx.
I dare you.
We don't do Brooklyn accents. See, the Bronx and Brooklyn, we had a rivalry for too many years, and so we don't do Brooklyn accents.
How sad.
It's not sad.
That's like if the OC.
It is. That is the way it is.
Doesn't want to do Valley Girl accent.
That is the way it is.
You guys, if you want to know what part of Los Angeles I'm from, and I was born and raised in the Valley side, as you can probably tell. All
right, let's see. Where should we go?
Question for you
I want to start off with some guides who are coming through.
I have a technical question before we begin. Mm-hmm. So here's Erica's question. So do you want to do it this way? Or do you want to do it?
Yeah, you can do that. You can send me the questions. I'm going to start off with a couple of things right now. Is someone watching right now wearing, I was talking about rings, and then there was somebody here who crossed over. Are you right now, like at this moment, wearing the ring of someone who crossed over? If you are wearing it right now, I don't mean you have the ring. I mean you're wearing it right now. Be honest, because we want to make sure the message is for you. So that's one. And then there's a last name here is, it just sounds like a last name. The name Baxter. Is that connected to one of you guys watching? So there's two different messages. And the third one is, so they're showing me someone who had kind of, this house was kind of in a round shape. So someone owned a house that wasn't like square like a normal house would be. This was more rounded. Is that you? Please give us a little chat in the chat box. That being said, and the name Ida is coming through. I don't know if you spell that A-I-D-A or I-D-A, but the name Ida or Ada is coming through. Okay. If that's you, let me know. Where shall we go?
All right. So first question is from Alec Sandra, unless that's a typo.
Alexander.
Okay. Hello. My question is, will I find the job that I like soon? Thank you.
Well, I want to describe this to you, what your guides are saying, Alexandra. Hi. Because one thing that people, I think, appreciate about me is I always shoot it to you straight. I see that at first it's going to look like the job that you want is taking a step back or half a step back. That might be in the pay. It might be in the rank, or just kind of what you think of as a status, like, oh, that's a little bit beneath me. And what I want you to do is still take it, because it's just them being conservative on their part, meaning they're just trying to find someone who's willing to do that. And then very quickly you're going to rise up. So don't back off just because it seems like you're taking a step backwards. Your guides are wanting you to do that. The other thing is that you have a beautiful spirit guide working with you. I'm just going to call her Luna, Luna, because she's coming across like moonlight. You need to do a little ritual for yourself on the new moon. And when the new moon happens, set your intention. And when you do that, you go outside, and it's best to do this in nature. It could be in your yard. And what I would do is go out there, write your intention on a piece of paper, and just like hold it up. On the new moon, you don't really see the new moon, because it's about birthing. It's what's coming out of the darkness eventually. That's what that means. That's why the moon is hidden, that which is in the unknown coming forward to you. And with a smile in your heart, make that intention. Say, I welcome the opportunities that are coming for me. They are for me, and I will make the most of those opportunities. And this is going to be a new track for you, okay? Peace.
All right. Lisa.
Hi, Lisa.
Her tag name is Paranormal Experience. She said she is wearing her mother's ring. So,
that's you.
Yeah.
Wonderful. And I assume your mom has crossed over?
Yes, I'm trying to get the mother's name. She has not responded.
Okay.
Do you want to post another one, or do you want me to pick one?
There's another one on there. If you look up from your question, I sent you one before that.
Michelle Okpara. My name is Michelle. My aunt passed away when I was younger. Her name is Estelle. Can we get a message?
Sure. And what is her name again? Michelle?
Her name is Michelle.
And the aunt's name is... I don't know why. You just told me. You guys ever do that?
Yeah.
You ever look at your phone for the time, and then you look at it, and then you put it down.
Her
You still don't know the time.
Estelle.
Estelle. Thank you.
Yes.
How wonderful. Michelle and Estelle. Got it. Thank you. Let me see if there's a message. First things off is she's circling the month of November as being important here. So that's a heart around that month. The other thing that she's bringing through is that she's kind of, I don't know if you were recently sitting somewhere on I know this seems general to you, maybe, because we all maybe sit on stools, but she was with you. You were sitting on a stool, not a regular chair, and you're up high. I don't know what you were doing, but she was right behind you. And she's like, I know this is a funny joke. Did you guys have a joke about your ears? Like either her ears or your ears, or did she used to pull your ear, or did you not, you don't really like your ears? Because she's kind of coming over and like saying she loves your ears. Now, you know, when I give messages, only you would know what that means or find that interesting. Again, her energy is usually sometimes grandmothers come through and they come through as mothers, like, oh, I feel you more like a daughter than even a grandchild. But she has grandmother energy. Like that, you know, that proverbial soft kind of energy. Also, there's a message that's coming through for you, Michelle, and that is be very conscious of and paying attention to your joints, specifically elbows and knees. And she's saying she has the spring in her step back. That's what she's saying. I have the spring in my step back. Are you planning some kind of big move or something in the spring also? Because she just made me feel like there's two reasons why she's using the word spring in your step. You're moving forward in spring. That's the message. Got it. Thank you.
Okay.
By the way, she's tickled your feet. She has tickled your feet like while you were sleeping.
Okay. So we have Lisa, the paranormal experience girl. So her mother's name is Denise.
Okay.
And she's wearing her mother's ring.
Beautiful. Isn't that cool that your mom just like came through and was like, they're wearing my ring, and in a good way. So that's wonderful that you're wearing that. She is, you might find this funny, but she's like talking like a sailor on the other side right now. I don't know whether she cussed like a sailor when she was here or she was very polite, but right now on the other side, she's like having, I call it the time of her afterlife. So she's like in the middle of a party and she's like, hey, like very loose, very, very loose is how Denise is coming through to me. Is somebody in this family in the medical profession, somebody in this family a nurse, by the way? I'd love to know that because she's talking about that.
All righty.
All right. She wanted to come through to give you a little surprise about the ring because she knew you'd be watching. Her symbol to you is a red robin, a red robin. Who's next? Come on in.
Kelso? Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Kelso. So, hi, Kelso. He met you at Rama Circle when you were channeling there in Santa Monica. Can you please give, Celso is a male name, right? Give me any messages from my guides regarding my life in general right now.
This is right now, and I don't know if is it pronounced Kelso, Erica, or Celso?
I don't know. So
Sorry if I'm pronouncing your name wrong. Okay, thank you. But my friend, the message is this. This is the time for you to really reset your foundations. Because what I see is that 6 months from now is where I see really big movement. And it's almost like right now, I would say the way we prepare, like if you're here in LA, the way you prepare for the rain is you kind of strengthen things in the windows or the doors, or, you do take precautions. Not precautions because something bad is going to happen, but just because it's a mature, sensible thing to do to make your foundation stronger. These next 5 to 6 months are about that. So that could be anything from, like you were saying, okay, who's in this with me? Who's really serious? Who can I really throw the ball back and forth with about my ideas? Because I feel that a lot of this is about worrying about money. Number 2, so don't really worry about, I should say never worry about money. Think about money, learn how to work with that energy. But for the sake of this discussion, I'll say, don't really worry about money till about 6 months from now, because you'll be in a much better position to understand how to create more with that. So this right now, it's about trimming the fat. It's about not working yourself or worrying yourself to the bone. And I think that the biggest thing here is your level of how hard you are on yourself. I get that it's almost like if I tell you, don't try so hard, you'd be like, I need to try twice as hard, Riz. And I'm saying, don't. It's the intensity at which you're doing, your intensity about how you're creating your life is actually too intense. And I feel like this is very personal to you. You know this. Maybe other people don't know this about you. But it's just very, very inner with you. So it's about relaxing that part of yourself and knowing that there's a different way to sail down this river. I feel like you've been going upstream and haven't been going with the flow of the river. And what is the river I'm talking about? The river I'm talking about is where you feel good. You decide if projects are fun. You decide if you can make them more fun, because what you bring, my friend, is the fun. And if you lose the fun, you lost the light. You lost that shimmer that people need to have through you. Okay?
So it looks as though, and I'm going to double check with Erica. So the person he was just giving a message to just realized he was getting the message right now. So you're going to have to rewind and listen to your message. And please let us know if there's any hits or confirmations. We'd love to know, and just put it in the box. So as far as the next question,
do you guys know that I have a new book? Here's the new book. Actually, there were 2 books released in the last month. Check that out. This is called The Echelon Speak. I channel an extraterrestrial group called The Echelon. They also call themselves The Friends. And this has incredible knowledge and information from the interdimensional beings that I channel, not just the spirit guides. And you can get it on Amazon and Kindle. And
some people don't know the difference between spirit guides and extraterrestrial intelligence.
Well, the spirit guides are there to really help you in your personal life a lot of the time when they give you a message.
And they're still energy beings, the same. It's just different.
We're all energy beings.
Human incarnation.
These beings are incarnated. So spirit guides aren't incarnated in the sense the way we would understand it. Mm-hmm. They're not showing up and interacting with us. And the extraterrestrial, high-level, teacher, benevolent, positive, good energy ones that are our friends in the physical universe, they will show up. And they have shown up far long ago. They're part of our DNA. How deep do you want me to go in this? Read the book. You'll see all what I'm talking about.
All right. So next question is from Luciana. She's coming from Switzerland. Hello, Luciana.
I was talking about Switzerland today.
Really?
Yeah.
Hi, Lady O and Riz. I'd really like to know the name of my spirit guide, and I'd like to receive a message from him or her. Thank you so much. With love and gratitude.
With love and gratitude. Hello in Switzerland. It must be early morning there, I would think. Let me feel. Whew. You have a guide working with you, and I'm getting the name, but I want to describe, first of all, what the message is for you from this guide. This is, and I don't know if you have any interest in sound healing, working with different instruments, working with the crystal bowls, working with even toning with your voice, okay? This is very important because the guides are working with you on your throat chakra. Throat chakra is not only your physical voice, but it is your spiritual voice. It is where you feel that you hear yourself, that you are at peace with how you are expressing yourself in this world, with your word that is spoken inside of you through your thoughts, and the words that you speak outside of yourself. So this is all about sound. And let me tell you, it's no coincidence that it's so interesting. I brought up the alien book, and her guides are what I call the ET guides, meaning they are in an extra dimension. Let me ask if there's a name. So one of your guides is just give me the letter Z, and you can call them that. I think it's probably because I can't. As a human, I probably would never be able to say these sounds, so they're just showing me the letter Z, and you can use that letter, and when you connect to them in your mind, they're actually a collective, a group, and they're working with you on you understanding how to tap into your own healing gifts and developing them. Oh, by the way, one last one more message for you is that your body is doing much better. It seems like you had gone through some health issue about 6 to 9 months ago, a little rough patch there. So the body's on the mend. And guys, when I give you a message and something, rings a bell, let me know, because it's really fun to hear those confirmations and share it with the group. Okay.
Did I just say it like
what?
That show that we used to watch?
What show?
The Bell. What is that? Fantasy Island?
That's the plane.
Oh. Okay. Just one too many psilocybin journeys.
Okay.
Question.
Yes.
Riz, did you say something with Denise, the mother, about people in uniform? Because Paranormal Experience said her mom, Denise, loved guys in uniform, so that makes sense.
Okay.
She's a nurse.
Okay, yeah. She's a nurse?
Yeah.
There we go.
There you go.
All right.
So,
are you literally going to do the bell every time?
Should I, guys? Why not, right? It
okay.
Keeps things,
all right.
Keeps things ringing.
Guess who's next?
Do you really want me to guess who's next?
No.
Oh, okay.
So Crystal Waters.
That would be something.
Yeah, that would be
Crystal Waters.
Yes.
And she's enjoying her new name because she was Crystal Ann before, but I encouraged her to add Waters to her name.
Did you really?
And it turns out she's full of water in her sign.
Oh.
Yeah. So she,
cool.
It was perfect. So her question is, I call on my guides often. I feel them in ways words do not touch. Do any of them have clues to pointers for me as to who they are or where to seek them? Hawks, wind, and water are the signs I can vibe. I can verb or vibe.
Okay. So what is the actual question?
I think she wants to know who her guides are. And if you can talk about any clues, like for instance, if you see a dove, or if you something like what she's
Oh,
looking
I see.
for,
What are the signs from the guides? That's a great question.
She's always out in nature.
You want to know what I'm getting with you? Interesting. It's nothing like that. It's a tickle on your face. They're saying that they tickle, like when you are about to sneeze out of nowhere, or you go, why am I itching on my face? Or why am I scratching over here? That's your auric field feeling them. For you, I'm not saying this for everyone, guys. I'm only giving this to Crystal, this message. That's your sign from them, okay? Yeah, that's it, Crystal.
Okay, so, and also, who is working with her? Is it an animal guide, or is it a human guide?
It's Persephone is one of your guides.
Ooh.
Persephone. I've gotten messages from her before, so she's working with you. You know, you had a lifetime where you were working with I think they're called runes. I mean, I know what runes are, but I'm seeing if that's what they called it when you were alive. These are the stones. Some runes were just to mark the passing of certain people, but some runes were used for divination, and you worked with it with divination. Yes.
Okay.
They're also saying, I know, I gotta say, Crystal, guides have very practical and fun messages, and Persephone is saying it's really good that whenever, I don't know, once a week, twice a week, when you go get your nails or toes done, it's really good for you because you're giving time for yourself to just be pampered and receive.
Okay.
Let me know if that rings something there.
Okay.
Said it brought her instant clarity, what you're saying.
Brought
Thank you.
instant clarity.
Okay.
Okay, so Tamaki, sorry. And she would like to know who are her guides. Thank you so much.
How do I say the name?
Tamaki? I don't know if it's male or female.
I don't need to know if it's male, if the person's male or female. The name is just the vibration that I tune into. And the question is?
The question is, I would like to know who are my guides. Thank you so much.
100%. You have a healer guide working with you that's helping you to understand how to use the sensitivity in your hands, and how to, I don't know if you've injured one of your hands, because actually I feel a little bit of energy block in one of them, but you're going to clear that very soon. And I was wondering if you've ever had your palm read. I don't know why they're talking about these things, because your hands are going to learn how to receive and transfer energy more. Not that you need to be a professional healer or anything, but this is something that you will find you really like to have in your own life. And this name Joseph is coming up. I don't know if let me know if this means anything to you, but this person actually lived in a past life with you. I believe that person's name is that now. And there's some clearing that your guides are doing on your breathing and your lungs and your chest or congestion. They're like working to help clear this area, heart chakra, and then the solar plexus chakra area. Chakra meditations will serve you very well. You also have another guide working with you who this is very interesting. It's like a Swedish name. It's like it's like Sven is the way I only could say it to you. But he is a very strong teacher from not too long ago. It just seems maybe a century or two ago that you lived in that part of the world. And you guys were builders. And he's saying that's where you had very strong hands, and that's where you were transferring energy. And it's in this life too.
Okay, so Celso said that he really appreciated it. And yes, he's very hard on himself, and he listens to David Goggins nonstop, and he just went through a divorce and a job transition.
Hey,
so
you find teachers. I've seen, I think I know who David Goggins is. And, you find teachers at the time that you need. So I'm glad if you find anyone online that helps you. What I say is, when it comes to teachers, they show up when you need them, and then either you'll stay with them or you'll add other teachers into the mix. Make sure that what I do know about that particular person, it's not very much in the feminine. It's very much in the same old masculine, go get it, kill it, slay it. I'm not a fan of that type of, that's not how I do things personally. I'm just going to speak from how I approach things. I believe the key is, if you want to go into flow, you have to go into your yin. You have to go into your feminine energy. You don't do it by attacking it or slaying it. I don't attack life, nor do I slay life. I actually am not interested in slaying. I'm interested in breathing life into. Slaying kind of means killing it. I'm not into killing it. I'm into breathing life, bringing it back to again. I'm not into attacking it. I'm into embracing it. So I would suggest for you is to maybe switch it up now, because that militaristic approach isn't for you. Next.
Lori. Hi, Lori from Santa Barbara. My entire family passed away, including my sister, who died tragically. I'd like to know if there are specific messages from June, Dean, Violet, Charlie, Lisa, or Marta.
Yeah, Lisa. And what is her name? The person who's asking them the
Lori.
Lori. Lisa is like your biggest fan, and she's the only one coming forward. It's like she's speaking for the group, is what I want to say. I have a funny question for you. Are you picking up after yourself? Like, are you leaving your socks around or your shoes around, your jackets around? Her energy is kind of like, I want to make sure that you stay on top of taking care of yourself and what's going on in your home. She's like, I want you to keep everything. I want you to be on point, Laurie. She's making me say this to you. Stay on point. Stay fresh. Stay new, because you're supposed to still be here. Also, have you thought about doing any new education or course or training in a real way? I don't mean just like an online class. I mean like really going into something for a purpose, because your guides are pushing me to in that direction with you. There was another name, I think you said Marta?
Yeah.
What?
Marta.
Marta.
Thank you.
Charlie, Lisa, Violet, June, Dean.
Sorry. So June actually. There's two big dogs over there as well.
Lori says that's her, so
got it.
Referring to the first.
Laurie saying that's her. What does that mean?
I think
She's
that
confirming that was Lisa.
That was Lisa.
Yeah, that
got
was
it.
Lisa.
Okay. Thank you. But Judy feels older to me. Feels there's a very strong mothering energy coming through here. She can keep flowers in your house. Does someone actually grow flowers? It's very rare you find people who just grow flowers. I don't know if she's referring to someone who grows things. And she's like, I don't know if you have some nervous habits where, I don't know, you're touching your face or you're biting your nails or something. And she's like holding your hands and she's like, just breathe and allow yourself to settle in, because we're supporting you. Thank you. I was just wondering, do you also in your house, do you have any paintings of hands or drawings or sculptures of hands? That's kind of coming through right now also. Those are the only ones I got for you right now. But I do feel like you have a big cheerleading squad behind you. So please, number one, take care of yourself. Don't let your health slide. Sadness can definitely bring you down, and you're not here for that. You're here to live with that vital energy that they're transferring to you right now. So they are.
She said that June grew tomatoes.
Jean grew tomatoes. There you go. Thank you. So she's living in the garden and growing things. So she's still doing it on the other side. Oh, let's take a little break. What do you want to talk about? Now you talk about something.
Well, I'm noticing that all the empaths are very quiet tonight. If you guys have any questions for me, you can definitely ask. Empathic situations would be feelings of high anxiety, issues with going outside or social dynamics or like driving or interpersonal relationships, intimacy. Gosh, there's a lot of things that cover empath. Watching what's happening in the world, feeling like the weight of the world is on your shoulders and you're just like, you feel like you don't feel good basically every day and nothing's helping you. So I have all these different little techniques, things that I've done, things that help, things that I understand about being an empath. So if you guys have any questions, always shoot me a couple questions because I'd love to answer. One thing I will say that I did recently, and we will put her name and I guess contact information. I just thought of this. I recently had a hypnotherapy session.
Oh, that's right. You did.
I loved it and it worked. Now you have to keep in mind, I'm a very open subject and I wanted it to work. So you have to, meet in the middle. But the woman that gave me the session was super technical, very detailed and very professional, knew exactly what she was doing. I did it over Skype and I was able to lay on my bed, which was awesome. And she just talked to me for, I think it was an hour. And I covered some of the things that I was working on. So I was starting to have issues around driving, which was a whole new phenomenon for me because I love driving. And all of a sudden I got afraid of driving because of like the current, craziness on the freeway and whatnot, and I just started to get more and more apprehensive. Turns out this was a family issue. And I didn't even tell you this. So my mom never learned how to drive. She tried 3 or 4 times. So
I knew she didn't drive.
I grew up with a mother who didn't drive, and my dad was always gone, and I was an only child. Sounds fun. But
your dad drove.
My dad was a professional driver, and he also taught me how to drive as a professional. I was a cop for a short period of time, and I learned how to drive emergency vehicles. And so I actually have training. I am considering myself a good driver. I always have. And Riz is a really good driver too, actually. And that's hard to say nowadays that we're actually good drivers, but we are good drivers. And so it was really odd that I had this problem. Then I found out my mom's sister got in a lot of accidents, and her sister had a lot of issues with driving. There was a lot of uncomfortability. They came from Honduras. There was not.
So do you think that you're driving? Do you think that like family stuff that your family goes through trickles down after, like when you reach a certain age, you start to worry about the things that they worried about at that age?
Yeah, because when I turned 50, all of a sudden, like all these things started happening where like I started acting different and being different, other than the typical things that happen. But I started to take on more of my mom's stuff. Yeah. Where normally it was like my dad when I was younger, when I was more like, I guess, I don't know.
I think that, it's interesting because when it comes to, we get programmed by our families, but there's like psychic connections of soul groups that travel together through different lifetimes. So your family, whether you get along with them or you don't get along with them, these are your soul traveling, compadres that came through to, really affect you in the way you needed to be affected in this lifetime for you to be here doing what you're supposed to do, which is to discover yourself, create yourself, and become the highest version of yourself while you're still in Earth School. Yeah. So I think I got another, somebody's coming through. Okay. I
have an empath question.
This is, okay, cool. Let me put this out there for you. The name is Bertha or Berta. Or Berda, I don't know. That's the name. If you're connected to that unusual name, please let us know in the chat box, and I will come to you for a message. And I'll do the next message after you answer that empath question.
Yes. Hi, Maria Janetti. How are you out there in the East Coast, right? I believe. And here's her question. I'm an empath and a hairstylist. I ground and do energy protection daily. How do I protect my energy further because I'm feeling drained lately, working more hours, and I'm energetically exhausted? Well, this is my specialty. So let me tell you. Here's the I'm going to give you a few things to do. Number 1, I have to change my environment when that happens. When I feel an energy block or an energy drain, or I start to feel like my data load is too high, I immediately have to change my environment. That means old things have to go out, new things have to come in, or I go into the storage unit or shed and bring in new things, seasonal changes, new pillows, new blankets, new curtains, change it up. The static, the stationary kind of lifestyle is not good for empaths because we need energy flow constantly. Also, put some water, running water in the house somewhere. If you have a pond outside or a water feature or something in the house that's trickling and you hear water, that's also very good to clear energy and move things through. Also, change your shoes. If you wear the same kind of shoes all the time, I actually learned this one from you, and the guides channeled this to me. It was brilliant.
I didn't even know that I did this.
Yes. Okay. So
that's news to me that I taught you that.
It was brilliant. So what happened was, they told me I need a new pair of running shoes, and I didn't think I did, but anyway, I got a new pair and it was life-changing. And then that led me to realize that, the shoes matter. And so,
why do the shoes matter?
I mean, I love shoes and I like to play with shoes and get fun shoes, but it's, I think it's the way it holds you, the way it the insoles that you choose. If you don't have insoles, you should try that. It's something about the security of the shoe.
Well, she's talking about grounding, so that makes sense that all the meridians are in your feet.
It helps.
I would also say to her is that sea salt is very important.
I was just going to say that. Yeah. Oh my God, I was just going to say that. And in your case, what I would do every single day, you could try it around lunchtime, is if you have a little Ziploc bag or a little container of sea salt, wash your hands in the sink with sea salt in between clients as much as you can or as much as you want to. And if you don't do that, another alternative is if you have a candle, put your hands over the fire and let the fire feel the warmth of the fire and start to feel the emanation and the glowing because your cells respond to that. And then another thing
brush your aura with your hands while you have the light around them. So it's like you're kind of coating your hands over the light and then just go over your body like this.
Let's do that right now. We like to do fun impromptu things here and there.
Go.
So put your phones down, prop it up.
Here's a candle.
If you don't have a candle,
use this one.
Or no,
seriously.
The actual laptop. Yeah, it could be your candle.
I'm serious about use this candle.
So follow along. I'm going to show you guys how to do a energy clearing with your hands. So everybody put your hands together, make a sound, clap, feel that sound, rub your hands together, create a static electricity. So you feel it really strong. Lift your hands in the air, feel the energy of the universe, feel the tingling in your hands, and then start to do a bath. Give yourself an air bath. Just above your auric field, move your hands over your face. This is a part of your ability to self-heal, self-cleanse, and to take ownership of your precious auric field that gets all the time things on it from other people. So it's a lot of freshness coming into your environment, and feel you go all the way down to the bottom of your feet, your legs, your body, anywhere it feels tight. Like in my case right now, it's my throat, and I don't know why. Maybe I was doing a lot of talking before the show, but so I would put more heat energy here. I'm a Taurus, by the way, so I'm led by the throat. So find out what your sign is and what organ is that you're being led. Like Leo is led by the heart, and there's a lot of heart work he has to do on himself because he feels everything through his heart. So
what I'd like to do is imagine my hand is going, see how I'm passing it over this light?
Right.
And I'm imagining that it's sort of coating my hand with light, firelight all around my hand. Imagine, I don't know, I'm wrapping lines of light around my hand, and now it's like a big mitten. Imagine a mitten. That's a good one, actually. Just imagine you have a mitten made of light, and you're passing it over. And when you're passing it over your body, guys, you don't just go slow also. Sometimes you'll want to scrub an area. You'll know when to do it. Just go into a very sensitive state. Take your time and go about 3 inches around. That's your baseline auric field around your body. And then you might find that you're staying here. See, immediately my hand went here. Yeah. So I'm still stay connected to the fact that your hand is wrapped in that light. You don't want to miss that steady connection.
Correct.
And then there's 2 things here. There's 2 points of view. One is the point of view of your hand that you're putting light into you. That's not the only point of view. You have the point of view of yourself. So drop into your heart or wherever the hand is, and then breathe it in too. So you're sending it in and you're breathing it in. So you might go over your knee and go all the way down to your feet.
And you could do
then wash your hand like in the light again. So now you're clear.
Let's do a cleansing breath so we can cleanse this little cleansing that we did, but with breath. So what would you like to do? You're really good with the breath work.
No, I think I like when you do it.
Okay, so everybody take a deep breath in.
In through the nose, hold the breath.
Nose, hold, and when you get to the top of your lungs, take another little sip. Open that airway, open the lungs, feel alive, open your chest, open your chest cavity, drop your shoulders, breathe through your nose, out. And in gratitude, one more time, everybody in the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Everyone breathe in.
In through your nose, hold the breath around your heart. Just hold it as light. Drop your shoulders and then blow it out through your mouth.
You're releasing all the day's drama, pain, suffering, sadness, stories being held energetically that you're holding. You don't even realize you're holding it, and you get to release it. Feel it releasing through the bottom of your feet and your hands. And this was a little mini clearing here that you guys got a little chance to understand when you're starting to feel dragged down. There's many things that you can do that are physical and practical in your day-to-day life that can just reset you.
Hey, Erica, did anyone respond to that thing that I said? Not yet. Okay.
But we got lots of good questions.
I have one more thing that's coming through. Is there's somebody here who's crossed over that was very much about playing basketball when they were here. So this probably was a fairly young person. But they played a lot of basketball or obsessed with basketball, like obsessed with Kobe or obsessed in that area. But they're tapping me on the shoulder. Fairly young man. Okay.
Okay, here we go. Hey, hi, Lady O and Riz. Hope I'm coming through. First timer here. I'm praying that my husband, Eric, who died somewhat suddenly.
Yes, because the name Eric was coming through to me earlier, so I'm glad it's you. So great.
Who died somewhat suddenly and devastated me completely. Eric, have any questions for me? Her name is Ashley.
Hi, Ashley. So earlier, I did hear the name Eric, and I'm really glad that you jumped in. You were definitely supposed to get this message. By the way, he is surfing the waves on the other side, meaning like great spirit, the amazing divine energy of the universe lifted him onto this wave and is just moving him through, cleansing him with like the life-giving ocean mist air and just sparkles of effervescence coming through. And he's putting... You know those drinks that are like you get in Hawaii with like the little, you don't just get them in Hawaii, but they have like little umbrellas or things in there. You need to sometimes kick back and have something, and there's nothing wrong with having a drink once in a while and just relaxing, okay? And you need to, he's like trying to get you, I know how you go, how am I ever going to relax? Well, you have to put on your grief during the day. There has to be like, okay, I thought about you for 5 hours straight and now I'm not going to. I did my 5 hours of grief, or 3 or 2 or whatever, or 10, whatever it is. There has to be a limit day to day. And you go, now I'm not going to do that. And it is your way to really take care of yourself. And he is supporting this. Maybe you're already doing this. He has already, by the way, opened and closed some of the doors. I think it was in the kitchen, the kitchen cabinets. Like, I don't know, maybe you thought you left it open or closed, and it's like his energy has moved some of that stuff. Not that his spirit is always in that house. It's just that he has come through, and that's the way some of the physical structures have responded. You are like the Jasmine to his Aladdin, is the way I want to say it. You know that song, A Whole New World? It keeps playing in my head right now for some reason. And he's like, actually, you're beauty and he was the beast. He's like, that's how he sees it. So he's coming through really strong. Month of August is something is here. And is the name... I don't know if the I'm trying to say either Manny or Danny. I don't know if that's connected to him. I'm not sure. Danny or Manny? let me know about that. Also, the month of May, he's putting a big heart around the month of May. Please let me know if that means any connection to you. And it's very important for you. You know, when you take all the blankets and you pull them really close to you, saying she takes all the blankets and pulls them, I don't know, around you, or holding the cushion or something, is the way he's describing it to me. It's like you're letting that energy out and understanding. By the way, boy, now he's really talking. He's talking about his foot touching your foot. And no, his foot touching your foot. Were you putting his socks on? Have you put on his socks? Curious.
So Danny is a friend of ours.
Danny's a friend? Okay. He's giving love to that person. Oh, there's someone on the other side connected to Danny, older person, who's with Eric. Like, oh, you're doing a reading? Let me get a message to Danny. And he's sending a hello to Danny for some reason. Don't let the food go bad. What does that mean? That means like when you put fruit out or something, or you leave food. It's like don't let it go bad. I think that's a little joke on his end for some reason. What that's about, I'd love to know what that's about. Great, 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 big love. If there's any of these confirmations make sense to you, please let us know. Okay,
so
next.
Michelle Okpara said confirmation of her Aunt Estelle. She had an old soul, got killed at 25 when she was 6. She was on a school discussing spirituality and told them I can feel her here. Okay, so...
Also, that is the Kobe.
Yeah, so I was just going to go to that. So Michelle Okpara also says her godson died at 19. He was a Kobe fan.
Thank you. Okay.
His name is
Tyreek.
How do you spell it?
Tyrik.
Tyrek. Okay. So that young man was coming through. Thank you. Because you said Kobe and that was his thing. And he's fine. He's okay. That's where he's supposed to be.
She said she can get a message to Danny.
Great. The message is just hello and sending love. And that's it.
Okay, so the next question is from Adelie. Do my spirit guides have a message for me? You mentioned the name Ada earlier.
Ada is a relative of someone.
Oh, okay. Her name is Ada.
No.
Okay. So it's
No. No, it's different. Ada is somebody here on the other side by that name. Okay. Let's go to the next question.
Okay, next question is from Susan Rodriguez.
Hi, Susan.
Hi, Riz. I was very drawn to you. I am trying to find a lost uncle who we thought to be deceased. I have received downloads that he is alive. My dad hasn't gotten over his brother's disappearance. Yeah,
that's not my area of expertise. There's psychics who are really good with that kind of stuff. That's not my thing.
The only thing I've ever seen you do in this area is you feel a life force, whether it's on the planet or not. That's the only time.
Yeah. But it's not my thing, so I don't really put myself out there with those kinds of messages, you know? So, yeah. I think that, but you can ask around and find out who, the psychics, they have their specialties. Some people do crime also, and they're very good at that. So, but that's not my thing. I'm sorry.
Robin says, my great-grandmother was Ada Griffiths.
Thank you, Robin.
Okay, Carla
She
Vargas.
was saying hello to you. And by the way, when Ada tapped me on the shoulder, it was like this big, strong, meaty hand. By the way, I have to tell you, I didn't know whether it was a man or a woman, but it had some strength. I was like, ooh, I want that hand to massage my shoulder right there. It's got that chi. She is a very supportive energy around you. And if she's your great-grandmother, maybe you didn't know her, but she's a powerhouse. That's your message. She's with you.
Okay. Carla Vargas Fuster. Can I have a message from my grandmother? She died 16 years ago, and I miss her so much. Thank you.
What's her
Erica,
name?
did you get a name on Carla?
Oh, no, I'm sorry.
Okay.
Guys got to follow the rules.
And then Sarah, I haven't done Sarah. I don't.
Do we have any first timers on these lists?
We have a lot.
Let's go to the first timers.
Sarah, hello, y'all. It's been a very emotional day today. Wondering if my guides have any messages for me tonight. Thank you.
Is this a first timer?
Yes.
And what's her name?
Sarah.
Hi, Sarah. Been a rough day, huh? I know how those go. But the rough day just means it didn't go the way you wanted. It was presenting you with something that you have to navigate and figure out. And it is for you, even though it doesn't feel good. It's still for you. Let's see. What is going on here? Okay, so really what it is that you're discovering, and it's just you're discovering who kind of people are under the cloak. Under the cloak. But it's not that you can't trust them or whatever. Don't turn it into something crazy. It's that you're just learning more about the layers of people. And there's even layers beyond that layer. So you remove the cloak and there could be a layer underneath that's much nicer than that. And then it's kind of like you go through layers and layers and layers, just like you go through layers of yourself. And to not take it as personally. Okay? You have a wonderful spirit guide working with you who's like a fourth grade school teacher. I want to hear me out. I want you to imagine like the most magical fourth grade school teacher, and it's a female. And I want you to imagine, give her a name, and I want you to imagine that she's like the most wonderful teacher, and she teaches you things all about the world, and she compliments you when you come in, and she has the nicest handwriting on the chalkboard, and she gives everybody some cookies later. And your God. I mean, I'd love a spirit guide like this, actually. You're very lucky. And she's with you, and she wants you to drop in that when you come into your house, make sure that your home is more of your sanctuary. That when you come to the door, you take your shoes off. Do not wear your shoes in your house. You don't bring the energy of the outside into your house. Your home is your sanctuary, your temple, and your healing space. Okay? The energy must be sacred. So it is taking care of that. Make everybody take their shoes off in the house and stay on it. And then it is how you are keeping the sound, what does it smell like in your house? If you don't have the whole house to yourself, then you do have control of your own bedroom, and make sure that's the way you like it. Also they're giving you a message. It's all about house stuff. So under your cabinet in your bathroom, do a cleanse, like take out, throw away stuff you don't need. Only what you really, really need or really, really, really like should be there. So it's like a clearing out of this is a great way to come down from a rough day, is to clear out and clean out, okay? And you'll feel better.
So we have Carla's grandmother's name now. She died 16 years ago.
Okay. I want to take a few first timers first, because I know that.
Okay.
I want to do a couple of first timers because I know that a lot of people are joining us.
Yeah,
and I want you guys to.
So we're going to finish this one because we already read it.
Okay.
Carla, so her grandmother is Maria Luisa.
Mm-hmm. I'm not getting a signal just yet for that person, but I'll keep it in my mind. If they don't come in within the first 6-7 seconds,
sometimes when it's,
I don't want to sit here going like this in front of you guys, and we're here for 2 more minutes.
Sometimes what I've noticed is when they have passed quite a bit of time ago, they're off doing other things. They may have reincarnated. You never know.
You can't even tell anymore,
so
because
you have to sometimes wait.
It could be that. I mean, sometimes there's someone from 80 years ago who died, and they come in like that. So it's kind of a crapshoot with that. You never know. But I'm not getting anything at the moment.
Are you ready for Cheryl Bratton?
Sure. Hi, Cheryl.
She's new here. Her name is Sherilyn, and her question is, if my son Daniel ever comes around me. He passed in 2015 at the age of 31, and I miss him every day. So sorry for your loss. As a parent, it's always so hard to hear that. So hard.
Look, you've heard everything at this point after what you've been through. People who don't know what to say to you, people who try to help you. I mean, no one knows unless they've been through it. Who could know? I mean, we can just try to imagine, and that leads us somewhere to help us, connect to you. As a medium, my job has always been to be the telephone, you might say, because my emotions aren't involved in it the same way. Because they're not supposed to be. I see everyone's loved one who's crossed over. I see them as alive Because they are. They're just not in the physical body. Let me see. Question for you, and you can type this in. Daniel's mom. And what is Daniel's mom's name?
I'm sorry, I don't know.
We don't know.
I would like
Sherilyn.
Sherilyn, thank you.
Deep in chat.
Yeah, we were deep in looking at the other messages.
Okay, Sherilyn. I'm just curious, your dad has also crossed Sherilyn, because there's an older gentleman who received your son on the other side. And I would think it would be your dad, but I'm not quite sure at this moment. But I feel his presence. Let me tell you something. Sherilyn, he's walked around the house, and he's like, I've walked around the garage area. I don't know what that's about. But in a very, very happy way. I want to say that when he does come, he's like walking, his energy floats through the perimeter and just blesses. And he's found on the other side what he really is good at. And he's really good at being a big brother on the other side. There's a real structure to spirits and to souls. We are souls. We are spirits. And when we get to the other side, there's a real structure of what the next dimension is like. There are spirit guides. You might say they're organizing the kind of space that you're in with other souls. Some souls you've met on the other side who you used to know in past lives, and some of them you knew in this life. They were a relative or a friend. And then you're assigned kind of tasks, basically. And the tasks are like, okay, you're going to be doing this while you're in this rehabilitation. We're helping your soul decompress and learn the lessons from this lifetime that you're going to apply to there. He worked out all of his sadness and anger issues, and he's being a big brother to souls on the other side who were younger kids who died, like little kids, as well as, and this is fascinating, some people on this side who actually were adults and then died and crossed over, but never had the big brother experience. So he is stepping into that. I'll have one more question for you, Sherilyn, is that what was his connection to cars? Did his death have anything to do with the car, or do you have something of his in your car? Do you listen to the music he used to listen to? Because he's kind of making me feel that. I know I'm asking you some questions, but I have to, because that's what I'm getting. So if those are some things you could answer for me, that would be great.
Okay, Patricia Thomas.
Hey, Patricia.
I'm a first timer. Can I get a message from my transition grandmother, Elvira?
Sure. I'm getting a yes on that. There also there are two other people here who are coming through connected to you, or maybe they're connected to her. Okay, I was wondering, and maybe you can tell me this, does somebody play the violin that you know that's, or is it you, or is it one of them? Or was maybe there was a piece of art that had a violin, because it's showing me a picture of this. So it could be that it was in the piece of art, or that this is something that they played. So there's two other people here. Also February, this month, we're in February. This month is of significance here with you. Elvira. What a great name. I always think of the Elvira, or the old country song called Elvira. She is, I'm just going to describe to you what I see. She is sitting on a rocking chair. Yes, still. She didn't take a young body. When we die, when we cross over, we get the opportunity to kind of be in whatever age, because we still have an experience, like we interact with other spirits, and so we have what I call the heavenly body. You can pick whatever age you want. She actually still is picking being older. And the name Michael is coming up around here. Do you know who collected maybe it's you. She's showing me somebody who collected like the shot glasses or the alcohol bottles. And the state of Florida is some connection here as well. Please let me know about that. But there's a big hello, and there's a big I'm proud of you, and there's a big I like your hair. Your hair. I don't know if you just changed it or something, but she likes it.
She said the violin is what was passed to our siblings.
The violin is what was passed to the siblings, Elvira. Well, there you go. Now you know it's her. Happy to make that little connection confirmation for you.
I have another confirmation from Sherilyn Bratton.
Yes.
Sherilyn here. Yes, my dad died when I was only 4, and I'm 61 now, so I barely remember him.
Yeah.
Before my son died, he dreamed he had a conversation with my dad. I don't have a garage, just a carport.
Okay. Well, that's the carport. That wherever the car is. Okay, thank you. But yes, so that, like I said, the older male, who I thought was your dad, was waiting for him when your son crossed over. And you said something very interesting, and I want to offer you this, Sherilyn. You've had a karmic spiritual path of losing 2 men in your life, right? One you didn't even remember, but there was still a loss, so the absence of, and then the son, which is the absence of. What does that mean? What I would offer to you as a psychic medium and as a shaman is that it's a very sacred path, that it's almost as if you were here to kind of walk them through going to the other side. Even though you were a little kid, you still had a lot of powerful spiritual energy in you. It marked his kind of like, okay, he brought this child through first couple of years, and now it is his time to go. His purpose was to bring you through to this earth. Your purpose also was to bring your son through this earth for his time here. So there's some very deep, I don't know, maybe we can one day do a reading if you want, and we can go really deep into this. You can go to our website, or Erica will send you a link how to get a reading with me. But this is something we should explore. What is the karmic connection as to why these 2 male figures, older and younger, were part of leaving the physical earth plane for you to experience that? And let me tell you, it is a very powerful path, and the reasons are going to be very, very deep and good for you in terms of your soul's evolution. But you're going to see them on the other side, and I know that that's, you just wish for that, but know that they're together.
There was more confirmation from Patricia.
More confirmation from Patricia.
Her parents took a vacation to Florida, and her mom collects glass figurines and shot glasses and mugs, and her grandma
so
brings them back.
The confirmation was about Florida, the confirmation about the shot glasses and the figurines. That's awesome. Thank you so much.
I wanted to take this next question because
Please.
It was kind of fun. So Naomi,
Can I tell you something?
Naomi's out there in the dark. She
Before
had
you
her
talk to
power
Naomi-
cut out, and she's being kept company by watching us. I thought
So
that
she's
was
running
so-
on battery power?
Yeah, I thought it was really cool. So before you run out of power, I wanted to jump in there and read your message.
Can I just give you a spiritual lesson I just learned in the last 3 seconds?
What?
I learned a spiritual lesson, guys, in the last 3 seconds. So I've been ringing this bell, time to time, and you hear the way it's ringing. It's like the bell, the thingy is rubbing against the inside of the bell, and I was like, I don't like this bell. I kept saying to myself, I don't like this bell. I mean, it's very pretty, but it doesn't give the ring that I want. It's just not giving the sound. And then I just by accident started moving it differently.
Just the slightest move.
Just the slightest
can
move, right?
change
And then,
everything.
and so what I realized that it's not always the thing; it's
Right.
the person who is doing the thing.
Right. It's also those little micro moves that we do, right?
Well, I'll tell you something. It also reminds me of something back in the day. I remember when I was learning how to play guitar, because you guys, I sang in bands and play guitar and drums and all that. And I had this guitar that was like, I didn't like playing this guitar because I thought it was just my first guitar, and it was really cheap and like cost like $50, and it's not a good guitar. And then a guy came over to my house who could really play the guitar, and he played my guitar, and it sounded totally different. And I was like, no, wait, what?
That
Yeah.
is hilarious.
And he's like, yeah, it's the player. It's not really the guitar. I'm like, damn.
Oh, man. Okay, Naomi, before your phone dies,
And goes to the other side.
Right. You're in San Francisco, so we're keeping you company. So that's great. My cue, you said, my cue, comma, my
question.
brother. Oh, my question.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh. So sorry, guys. My cue, my brother Jesse, passed almost 10 years ago. What is he doing? Does he have any missions or messages for me? I think that's what she meant, messages. Does he have any messages?
I just got an emergency alert on my phone.
Oh, no.
It says the National Weather Service, a flash flood warning is in effect for this area until 12 a.m.
We better hurry up, you guys.
So if you see water rising or
if
us
you
jump
see
up on the
flickering
chair.
lights, oh my God.
Okay. This is a dangerous and life-threatening situation. Do not attempt to travel unless you are fleeing an area subject to flooding or under an evacuation. This sounds like the beginning of a Tom Cruise movie. What the hell? That's crazy, right?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. I had some clients who flew in to do, the shamanic medicine journey with me. And they flew in from Arkansas, and it was their first time in LA, and they had one day where it was just beautiful weather. And it's been down today. It's pouring. They landed. It was pouring, and they were like, "Oh, we're going to the city of angels, the land of sunshine."
Storm.
And they came here for the storm.
Oh, I feel so bad.
I know, and I'm like, I texted.
They didn't get to see the beauty.
But they're happy. But it's like, when you come to this part of
California,
you want to see sunshine,
the beauty.
Yeah.
Okay, so Naomi, her brother Jesse, passed almost 10 years ago. What is he doing? Does he have any messages for her?
Yeah, give me a moment. I'm getting a yes to answer this question. He's giving me and to tell you that his symbol is the feather. The feather. So feather at your feet that you may find walking down the street, feather that you just find on the couch or whatever it is, and you're like, oh, that just came out of my cushion. But still, it's a symbol from him. No matter where you see it, that is the... I know this is interesting. You said, what is he doing? Well, you'd be surprised what I'm going to tell you, because you might say, what? That's so random. Well, we're talking about the other side. You're watching a psychic show. What do you think it's going to be like? White robes and, that's not how it is on the other side. He's taking care of bunny rabbits. That's what I saw. He's like, what is he doing? I saw rabbits. And I saw his, the hands, grabbing the rabbits and petting them. And in this very cute and beautiful, magical setting. Do you have anything going on with your skin, by the way? Do you have, or was it him? It might have been him, but he's talking about really like skin issues. Like some people have eczema, or they have flare-ups, or sometimes they get hives when they're really nervous. Are you the one with the sensitive skin, or was it him? He's talking about that. He is very commanding presence, I have to tell you. And as he has this commanding presence, he's being in his very soft side where he's petting the rabbits and everything. But his whole energy himself is he definitely feels that he has things to say and that he knows a lot. And I think he actually does. But it wasn't meant for here, clearly. He, I have to say this, and he's the one who's saying this to me, is that he never grew up. He never really grew up. They're kids they're 12 years old and they're quite grown up. I was very grown up at 9. I was wanted conversations. I think you were like that. You wanted to have conversations with adults in an adult way. And you were responsible and you didn't do things that other kids, you just didn't act like that. And
I was a full grown adult by the time I was 18.
Yeah. I mean, I was that way.
Ready for life.
Yeah, I was that way at 7 and 8, though. I'm talking about, and I'm not talking about then. I'm talking about at 7, 8, 9, 10.
Oh yeah, no, I was very mature for my age.
So I was like that, and he's giving me the impression no, I wasn't like that, and I'm getting it now. I'm getting it now. He's passing. I don't know what this is about, but do you have a Rubik's Cube in your house? Remember Rubik's Cubes? For some reason, that also is a symbol that he's showing to me. Okay, I'm going to help you solve things. Got it. It's not just a metaphor. You have to solve a Rubik's Cube and get it all. He's going to be there. When you need help solving things, call on Jesse and say, Jesse, help me solve this. Help me figure out the formula to figuring this out. He's got quite a powerful mind.
Okay, you ready?
Yeah.
So we have 2, and I think we might have a third, but right now we have 2 dog messages in queue.
2 dog questions?
Yeah, you ready to talk to some dogs?
If they're around.
Okay, so Liliana would like to hear from her dog that passed. And the name of her dog was Snake.
Yes, I am going to get a message here. The name of the dog was Snake, like a snake?
Like a snake.
That's so cool.
And Naomi says she sees feathers a lot. Good to know it was him.
Thanks, Naomi. I'm glad. Yeah, it's him. Because he's flying like an eagle.
I love that song, by the way.
Fly Like an Eagle by Steve.
That's one of my favorite songs by Steve Miller.
Steve Miller, yeah. Yes. So when it comes to Snake, I want to say that Snake is more like a superhero than a snake or a dog. It's more like a superhero with a cape and came in to just save the day. Well, this isn't a message from your dog, but this is a message from me. Are you spending enough time preparing your own food? And are you spending enough money on food when you want to go out and eat? Interesting. So it's not one or the other. It's both. So when you're in your kitchen, you are spending time making food for yourself and nourishing yourself. By the way, maybe it was because did you make food for your dog? You know, some people make food for their dogs.
Do you know, it's so weird.
I love Marquette, but I'm not making no food for her.
It's so weird you just brought that up. Remember when Poof was wanting the chicken and I kept buying the real chicken from Sprouts and it was coming shredded?
Yeah.
And it would go bad within a few days, right?
Yeah.
So the other day I was cooking some chicken and I was like, I should just cook this chicken up for Poof, the cat. And I caught myself and I went, oh my God.
You cooked her chicken?
I'm becoming that person. I'm actually cooking food for my cat.
She's going to get spoiled.
And I said, no, wait, I have to draw the line here. Let me talk to you. I wanted to talk to you about it first.
Well, I'm going to answer in front of everybody right now.
That, it's over. We never turned back after that.
Yeah.
I have to draw the line.
Your dog's hanging out in the kitchen.
Gets enough
Snake is hanging out in the kitchen. So when you want to talk to Snake, do that. By the way, do you have anywhere near you that has ducks? I want to see some ducks. I wish we had ducks near us.
I know.
I don't know why, but your dog is talking to me about ducks. I don't make the rules or the messages. I just deliver them.
Okay, you ready for the next one?
Yeah.
The other dog?
Oh, there's just a quick confirmation.
Confirmation time.
Bell.
I still have to get a new bell.
Yes, I did. He was for many years, he was very sick and had special needs. So she did have to make special food for him.
Oh, she had to make food for him. So she's saying she had to make food.
Maybe that's
she said he was special needs. I never heard an animal being called special needs.
She meant like
he had special needs.
Special needs. Yeah.
Yo, that's crazy. My dog has special needs. I mean, he learned slowly? What does that mean? Okay.
People are talking about how they make food for their dogs. Dogs, I think dogs...
Y'all are amazing. You make food for your dogs.
Have to. I think you do need to have a special diet
I think it's a good thing.
But cats do need to have the specialized diet. And I feed my cats good quality food that is no preservatives. It's completely just organic. It's great.
I have a health message for everyone. Speaking of food, everyone. If I were to... People ask me all the time for medical mediumship readings, and I do that. And the thing that I get this message all the time of what people should be ingesting. There's 3 things that I think all people should be ingesting every single day. Number 1 is super high quality fish oil, EPA/DHA. Spend the money and get the best quality. Don't buy you're not buying it from CVS off the shelf. Look up what is the best quality. It should be toxin free. It should be super, the extraction process should be very chemical free and all of that. Fish oil. You can't even get too much of this. Your brain needs it. Your body needs it for so many of its functions. So it's number 1 on my list as a medical medium, what you should be doing. Number 2 is electrolytes in your water. And you need a lot of them. Your body needs electrolytes and I'm not talking about Gatorade and that crap. Don't buy that stuff. Don't drink that stuff. It's fun if you want to once in a while, of course, drink it. But I'm talking about day to day in your water. Get a really good electrolyte powder that doesn't have anything artificial in it. My favorite is Dr. Berg, who's an amazing naturopath. You can look him up on YouTube. I love his stuff. I just recommend stuff, that I like personally and I personally use. So find that. The third thing that I would say to people is get a juicer.
Oh, yeah.
Just get a juicer.
Our juicer's our best friend.
If anything, the easiest thing in the world to juice are carrots, apples, and lemons. And if you just drink carrot, apple, lemon juice every single day, you are going to add some vitality of that raw, clean energy and life force into your body. In fact, Jay Cordage, who was the juice man, remember him? He died at 93 years old, and he's one of my heroes. And he really put me on the holistic path when I was 18 years old. And I was drinking the 2 quarts of juice a day. And I'll tell you something, people do ask me, they compliment me or they say I look very young for my age. I'm 54, I'll be 55 this year, okay? And I attribute it to all the juicing I did from the age of 18 to I juiced 18
but you also
nonstop
never
till
drank,
about 35.
You never smoked, never did
I didn't drink and didn't smoke.
So
yeah, true.
you had a head start.
Yeah, but I got to say that I ate a lot of junk food and ate a lot of street
and
food.
Carrots, yes.
So celery, carrots, apples, they're really easy now. Here's my tip for juicing, guys. When you buy the small apples to juice them, first of all, if you don't have a juicer, buy the juicer I like is the Breville.
That's the one we use.
Yeah, you could buy one. There's juicers that are like $1,000. You don't need to buy $1,000 juicer.
Amazon Breville does the job.
Like $200.
It gets the job done.
Gift yourself
it's
that.
Fast. It's easy to put together, easy to clean.
Yeah, I mean, this is something that you're putting for your health.
Yeah.
I look at it when people say, well, I don't want to spend $200 on a juicer.
Now.
I'm like, how much do you spend on Starbucks? How much do you spend on a pair of sneakers? How much do you spend on, a night out? Get yourself a juicer.
Because when you put into what's in Starbucks,
pure joy and goodness
mixed with chemicals and 1,000 grams of sugar.
So when you're putting apples into your juicer, put the stems in, seeds, everything. You're not taking the stems off. You're not, de-seeding it. Put the entire thing through. You drink carrot, apple, celery. Now, when you put the lemon through, put the entire lemon with the skin, the whole thing in there. Lemons cleanse your blood. They do so much for your organs.
I want to give a tip to the women out there. And Riz brought this to my attention, and it works, you guys.
What did I say?
When you have menstrual cramps,
yes,
get a cantaloupe. Get the seeds out. Wash it really good, try to find organic, scrub the outside skin, cut it into small enough triangles to fit in the juicer, juice the entire thing.
With the skin.
Within 20 minutes, your cramps are gone. This is a fact, and you have to try it. And it saved my life. It changed my life, and I'm addicted to it now. I love cantaloupes. And if you're allergic to it, we have to find another way, because some people are allergic to cantaloupes. Find another way around that. But maybe if you guys know something better than cantaloupes, but we love
cantaloupe is an amazing thing to have. I'll say one more thing. If you guys, and I'm feeling like somebody out there has some ulcers going on. Are you whoever's the person with the ulcers? Drop me a little note in the chat right now, because not many people have ulcers, but this is for you.
What's really funny is somebody just talked about something that I think you just picked up on.
What?
And then we're going to go back to the dog message.
No, the dog message is done.
No, there's another dog message.
Oh, there's another dog message. Sorry.
He's so definitive. It's done. Okay, well, you have another one.
The first dog message is done.
So, here we go. So, Bach Rocks says, celery's great. Do not do daily greens and juicing. However, my neighbor got a kidney issue after a massive green juicing daily for years. And it could be really bad. Oxalates.
So oxalates, let's talk about oxalates.
But that's funny because you picked up on ulcers.
Okay. Why, are they talking about ulcers?
Well, no, but I assume that's probably one of the kidney issues.
No, ulcers are in the stomach. But I will say this.
Oh, it doesn't go anywhere.
Oxalates are in spinach. Careful with your spinach intake. I don't want to go into a whole thing about, make this about juicing right now, the whole because we have readings to do, but I'll say this, guys. No, you're not. I've been juicing greens for a long, long time. I did it straight for 10 years and never had any issues. It is about what greens you're juicing. Celery juice you can drink every single day and you'll be fine. And unless you're the one in the, I don't know, 30 million people who might be allergic to celery. But this is absolutely, you can drink. Greens like heavy, thick, dark greens can be trying on the system and have those oxalates that this person is mentioning. But the juice that I recommended every day only had celery in it. Carrot, apple, lemon, celery. If you drink that every single day, you're going to boost your health and your vitality and even your psychic aura and capacity, because these are super bright, living, vital foods that brighten your aura, help you with your third eye. I'm living proof, guys. I'm going to be 55 this year, okay? So I'm living proof of it for you. And that's it, and that's all.
Yeah.
Let's go to the doggy.
And by the way, I'm going to go to the dog, but I'm going to say one last thing just to wrap it up.
Yeah.
None of this matters if you are drinking heavily
and smoking cigarettes.
Or smoking cigarettes.
Yeah.
It's not really going to help you as much.
I know.
mean, it does something, but you are, inflaming your organs.
Please, guys, if you're smoking cigarettes, please quit.
Please do everything you possibly can to quit. Okay, so here we go. Next dog question is from Joni. Joni would like to know if there's a message from her dog named Blue.
Yeah. He's not even a dog on the other side right now. He's like a horse. He always wanted to be really, really big.
Oh, we have somebody here with an ulcer.
Okay, I'll talk about the ulcer in a second. Okay, excuse me. Too many electrolytes. Okay, Blue. Thank you, Blue. Blue is just giving you a big, loves the kiss on the forehead. I don't know if you were giving the kiss on the forehead, but loves the kiss on the forehead. And love is the holding the paws and all of that when you did that. But now is like a horse. It's like this beautiful stallion like you would expect a knight to ride on. What is that about? Okay, so it said continue with that. What does that mean? Okay, continue with the knight to ride on. Do you ever go for night drives? That would be really good for you. Putting the windows down and driving on roads that feel really, whatever roads feel magical. When you take those drives, that's when Blue is like in the car with you. And you can really connect to Blue that way.
Okay, so interesting. I'm picking up on
the
something.
ulcer thing.
Well, yeah, there was two people that responded with the ulcer thing, and for some reason, one of them stood out for me, which was Kelly, who's a male, and he says he has an intestinal ulcer currently, and that one actually stood out for me more than the other one.
Because just you can get into the intestinal ulcer. I just want to say ulcers in general, in the stomach. Straight cabbage juice is a great healer for ulcers. Literally cabbage, just a shot, not a glass. So like a shot of cabbage juice on an empty stomach every morning. Try it for 30 days and see what it does for you. Okay. An intestinal ulcer, I would think that's intestinal means in the colon. Well, you got to talk about colonics.
Right.
Should I talk about colonics while you're doing that?
Do
okay,
it.
so colon hydrotherapy, guys, look it up. It's one of the most beneficial things you can do. Colon is really what we consider in the metaphysical community and also in the Eastern holistic community is that the colon is the true brain of the body. It's where your immune system is. It's where it creates serotonin. The brain and gut link, and the link of the gut, the intestines, your colon, connected to your emotions and the balance of your thoughts is extremely vital, important. This link cannot be underestimated. So you can do the research yourself. I am a firm believer that people should put colon hydrotherapy into their, again, we're not giving medical advice. And now, do we have to put a disclaimer now on YouTube?
Yeah, you have to, but it's okay if you just said it right now.
Yeah, I'm just saying I like colonics. I'm going to put it this way. I really like colonics because here's what it did for me. And it's not even like say people say, well, I'm regular. I don't need to do it. Even if you're regular, it's about there's so many toxins in the environment and you put your colon through so much and have throughout your life. Digestion is the number one energy taxing function of the body. How do we know? Well, eat a giant meal after Thanksgiving. You want to go to sleep because all that energy is being used to digest. So it's the most energy taxing process of the body is digestion. So you want to make things easier on that. And please look up in wherever you are and research this stuff yourself. You will feel like $1 million. Do a couple of sessions and you'll see the benefits.
So every live that we do has a theme somehow. It just arrives. And you never know what the theme is going to be. Sometimes it's all about spirit guides, and sometimes it's about aliens.
Right.
And sometimes. So today we were guided to talk a lot about healing the body and foods. And that's great because every time is different. And I want to add a couple things. First of all, I already put in the chat box, my health guru is Dr. Mark Hyman. And he is, long story short, he saved his own life through cancer and brain tumors.
He did?
He did.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, through food, through changing his diet, and he has his own clinic. And anyway, I removed a list of health problems that I was starting to have. I was 25 pounds heavier, and I just lost those 25 pounds. And I got inspired and excited recently, and I want to bring it to your guys' attention in case you want to join in like a community effort. I just started a 30-day challenge for myself. It's actually 29 days for February. I'm going to do yoga.
It is 29 days this year.
Yeah. I'm going to do...
Because our beloved Melissa, your third born, she was born on February 29th.
I know. Leap year, baby.
So she's now she's going to turn 5 this year?
Yeah. So I am going to do yoga every single day. Now that includes restorative and that includes slow flow. So it's not like I'm pushing hard every day, because some is just simply for stretching, because I hit my plateau after losing all that weight and working out at the gym, and I couldn't lose any more weight. And I have another, 15 pounds to go. To get to the ideal weight I want to be at. And I was like, I got to change it up. And I love yoga. And I've been procrastinating and putting it off. And then my daughter inspired me because she's now a yoga instructor. And so she's been teaching me at home. And I'm like, I just got to get back to it. So I just signed up at Yoga 6 because it's just basic, to the point. It doesn't have to be fancy.
No, this is hot yoga, right?
Hot yoga. Mm-hmm. Sorry, hot yoga. Mm-hmm. And I'll be taking her yin classes on every Tuesday. But anyway, the point is, if you want some support, I'm very open about my health. I'm open about my weight. I'm open about my diet and my changes in life, because I think it's important that women
you really want to help people.
I want to help people understand how to be healthy.
Right.
And newsflash for everybody who didn't know, I used to be an alcoholic due to trauma for, I think it was 13 straight years. And I was a severe alcoholic, and I almost died. I cooked all my organs, and I had anti-inflammatory
what do you mean by you cooked? What does that mean, you cooked your organs?
Cooked my organs means I was having organ failure, and all of my blood work was in the red, and I was out of...
So your organs were not functioning on the high level.
I was out of adrenals, and hormones were completely taxed and wiped out.
Yeah.
I had 5 kids in the middle of all this, and I would stop drinking to have the children and be pregnant and then go back to it. And it was all related to lifestyle and domestic violence and abuse and blah, 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 and blah, blah, blah. And so that's why I did it. Mm-hmm. And I was functioning. So I would go to work and I would do everything. You would never know. I looked perfect. I dressed perfect. I went to work every day. You would never know. I had it under wraps. It was that kind of alcoholism. Mm-hmm. And the reason I bring it up is because I've been hearing other people who have had this experience and are suffering through it or trying to come through it. And I just want to let you know, I met Riz right during that time when I had quit, and I was just coming out of it, and I was happy that I was not an alcoholic anymore. But when I started to go to the doctor to get checkups, it was a nightmare. He was looking at me like I had a very short time to live, and I was only 37, and I got really scared. And so over the course of all these years, the last 13 to 14 years, I have completely reorganized,
rebooted your system. Yeah.
Created a whole new body, basically. And I'm in awe and speechless.
And you're turning 51 this year.
Yeah. So you guys, anybody who needs encouragement, I just want to let you know it's possible to totally heal your body.
And we've done everything. Everything you've done has been through natural methods.
Yep. And Dr. Mark Hyman was the final cog in the wheel. Is that the right way to say it? He was the final. He was the
cog
final,
is a bad thing, right?
Oh, so he was the final piece of the puzzle that I'm trying to say. Those precious brain cells are important.
Yeah.
So
it's time for a colonic.
It's time for a colonic. So I am just actually thrilled to pass him on to you. Look him up.
Well, he's on YouTube. He's super popular on YouTube.
He's huge. But just follow his diet, follow his nutritional guidance, and I can't say enough. I can go on and on.
Let's take 3 more.
Okay, so I'm going to get in every 7 years we do regenerate, and I was going to just say that. And I'm glad you just said that. Okay, so because I was just going to say that
It's interesting, every 7 years you do regenerate.
But you have to put the right foods in your body to regenerate properly with cellular building.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing that when people say that, it's very misleading. Yes, you do regenerate every 7 years, so why do you still have the same problems you had 14 years ago?
Because your cells are damaged when you start the regeneration process. That's why you have to feed your mitochondria, feed your cells, clean your cells out, and that's from the things that we've been talking about. But it's not the cells that are damaged.
Those new cells are not damaged. It's that the system is not. I want to say the system hasn't been finely tuned so that when those cells are regenerating, that they are now in the new process, the new diet, the new lifestyle, because the cells regenerate with their perfection in them, right? Ideally, but also how we think.
Yeah, it's
what
all
our
related.
patterns are, right? So it's all connected. This is body, mind, and spirit stuff, guys. This is very, very important for you to go deeper in it in your life. Okay. So let's go in.
So I'm trying to find. It's right here. And I keep going through them. And I'm going to ask Erica to look for me. So Erica,
let's pick 3 people.
I was going to. Oh, I got it. Okay, so the question is, my wife Amanda's ex-father-in-law Ron committed suicide. Does he have a message for her or her son Zach? And was it him that left a drawing for him? And this question is from Bucky.
My wife's ex-father-in-law. Was that how that started? I mean, I don't need to know. What's the name of the people? That's what I need to know. I don't need to know the connections, really. What is the name of the person who crossed over? I need to know that name. Ron. Okay, got it.
And you'd like to know if there's a message for Amanda or Zach.
So
Ron.
So the answer is this.
My wife Amanda's ex-father-in-law Ron committed suicide. Does he have a message for her or her son Zach? And was it him that left a drawing for him? Was it Zach that left a drawing for?
No, was it Ron who left the drawing?
Ron? Okay.
The answer is yes to that. I get a green light. That's all it means. Confirmation, truth, yes. And the message for Amanda. Got it. Takes a second for more words to come through from that end. Are one of you who's asking the question, Amanda, or the person asking the question, are you the December birthday? I'd like to know about that. Yes, Ron thanks you, Amanda. I don't know what you did for him, but he thanks you for being there and being. Actually, you were a good influence. It's just some people couldn't hear you properly. But he saw your good heart. He saw it and knew it. He is doing he has a very close person with him on the other side. I almost think this is a sibling, but or a very, very close friend who's like a sibling. He's talking to me about somebody who lives near the train tracks. And I see a house and then I see there's a train tracks pretty close by. And this person, I don't know if it's you guys, do you have to cross? Is there a train? You know how there's the train track crossings and you have to stop your car and then the thing goes up? Is that you who's asking the question? Or does Amanda drive like that? Does she have to go to that? Because he's like, he's showing me that he sees someone who does this and he's with that person and he's giving love and a message to that person. He's on the other side doing his favorite thing, which is having a really good meal, like a good burger and a good hot dog and he's with his friends. He keeps saying, I have friends here. It's a very simple message, but I hope that it means something to you.
Okay.
She drives for Uber and Lyft.
She drives for, okay, so she drives for Uber and Lyft. Great. And what?
He said, yes, we do cross.
You do cross the railroad, yeah. So he sees that in the driving thing, Amanda. Thank you.
So I have 2
You have 2
messages for you.
messages. I'm getting a message?
Questions. Well, it's not my night.
I would
tonight,
love
guys.
to get messages. Are any of you also intuitives? I would love to get a message.
This is what yoga every day does to you. I'm like lightheaded tonight. I'm just like, woo. Okay, so here's your questions.
Mm-hmm.
First question is, and I forget the name of the woman, but it's a general question. She would like to know if there's any messages from Ram Dass for the entire group tonight, which I thought was really interesting.
Well, let me tell you. Let me tell you a little bit about my experience with Ram Dass. And Ram Dass actually sat in one of my channeling circles in Maui, and he loved it. And Oriah gifted him a magic mushroom once
in a box.
In a box, and he was in the wheelchair, and we had it, and then she gave it to him. His nurse opened it, I guess. No, he could move his hand. I think
he was able to open it.
He was open to open his hand. Yeah, I remember him. He had it in his hand. He couldn't speak very well at that time, and he had the mushrooms and he kissed it and he goes, "This is God," right? Something like that. He said, "This is God." Like he connected through God through the mushroom. So another interesting note about Ram Dass, if you guys don't know who Ram Dass is he was an American who went and studied in India with gurus and came back and helped to spread meditation and yoga and transformation here in the West. So he took some of the Indian teachings and he kind of put it in ways that people outside of India could understand. And so He crossed
was
not
it during
too long.
the pandemic?
I don't know, maybe 5-6 years ago he crossed.
It was during the pandemic.
So he also, when he came to one of my channeling circles, I had channeled that night Emmanuel. Now, little did I know that Emmanuel, who is part of the consciousness of Christ consciousness, because I think that Jesus was called Emmanuel, but anyway, I had channeled Emmanuel that night. Also, Red Eagle came through and gave Ram Dass a message. And by the way, when Red Eagle was giving Ram Dass a message, the sky opened up, cracked thunder louder than 10 sticks of dynamite, and it started pouring rain.
Yes.
We were inside, but we were in
there was actual lightning because we were right
on the ocean, and the person whose house it was this beautiful, beautiful house, and it was all glass leading out to the ocean in Maui, and the lightning came out of nowhere. Mm-hmm. It wasn't even scheduled to rain while Ram Dass was getting the message from Red Eagle. Anyway, after the circle, his nurse, his caretaker, had said, "How long have you been channeling Emmanuel?" And I said, "I think 6 years ago is the first time he came through." And they both looked at each other, Ram Dass and his nurse, like, "Whoa, this is weird." And I said, I noticed that it was weird. I said, what's the significance? And she said, "Well, Ram Dass was friends with a channeler that channeled many books from messages from Emmanuel. Right. And Ram Dass wrote the foreword to those books. Mm-hmm. And that channeler passed away 6 years ago. And we were wondering who was going to be channeling Emmanuel after that. And you just said you've been channeling Emmanuel for 6 years. That was an amazing moment.
That was amazing.
So I said, "Well, was it the same Emmanuel?" And Ram Dass was like, "Yes, I recognize, I know who that is." So
he said that was his guide. I remember he said that.
Oh, did he?
He said that was my guide.
Yeah.
That is my guide.
That's my story about him. I don't have a message. I don't have him on speed dial right now, but I will. I just dated my age there. I said speed dial.
Yeah. Well,
our youngest kids, our kids were not even
like tonight, like I had. I mean, every word was like I was having a problem. Okay,
next question.
So this is our last question of the night. It's been a pleasure with everyone. We obviously couldn't get to everybody, but please try again next time.
Sure.
So this is from Missy Deal. Mm-hmm. "I'm feeling so stuck and I could use some guidance from my guides. My husband doesn't believe in any of the things I do and wants no part of it. It's hard to stay positive.
That's tough, yeah.
And even harder not to get pulled into low vibrational energy. What can I do better?" Besides taking a yoga class and starting there.
Look, as long as people respect that you have your own beliefs, that's how we get along with one another, right? Even, that's important to have that respect. A person doesn't have to believe what you believe. And you don't have to believe what he believes. He doesn't have to believe what you believe. But I think that certainly for us to have a harmonious existence, what is a harmony? People say, I want harmony. I want a harmonious existence. Well, as a musician, I'm going to tell you what harmony is. Harmony is two different melodies together. They are not the same melody. They are not the same frequency, yet they move together. That's what harmony is. So a harmonious world is all of these different melodies that have all these different frequencies that create the song of life. Okay? Now, if you're going to keep letting that bother you, it's going to keep bothering you. If you decide that he's entitled to his opinion, if he doesn't believe in any of this stuff, he doesn't. Listen, I've given readings to people where I practically told them their social security numbers, and they were like, wow, that was interesting. But they didn't say, now I believe. I mean, you see it all the time. Some people just don't want to believe. Some people... I mean, why are we even talking about some people? Let them go. In terms of needing them to agree with you, they don't need to agree with you. And I'm sure there's plenty of things that you share that you love and like about each other that aren't about this. So, I would say is that stick to what you believe in, and I would tell this to anyone. You're always keeping an open mind. You know what you're here for. You know what you enjoy and what you love and what feeds you, and so continue with that. That is your spiritual path is not that you're trying to get away from everything that conflicts with your spiritual path. Everything is your spiritual path. It's about your living in harmony with all of these different elements, all of these different frequencies and energies around you, whether it's a form of people or situations or politics, whatever it is, because you're deciding for yourself that you're here to be a peaceful being. And peace is the only real power within you, right? You can't have any power if you don't have peace. It's a fake power then because somebody can topple you. So you don't have any battles because you're always finding that you're coming from a place of peace. Your foundation is peace. And that means that you stop making a lot of things wrong around you, that you understand that everything is for you humbly to go, okay, I'm here to explore, learn, and still always surrender to my gratitude and my blessings. And that's the whole purpose of what we're doing. We do our work for all these years, close to 20 years in the metaphysical field, myself as a trance channel shaman and medium, and you as an empath and as a shaman and healer. And the basis of our work has always been about helping people find their freedom, which is not based on what anyone in their life is doing. It's more about how they are reacting to everything they're experiencing, learning how to use that to create their new reality.
Well, I hope you guys enjoyed the show, and we will definitely see you next week. Yeah. And if you have any questions that didn't get answered this time, bring your questions back next time. We'll try again next time. Thank you so much. Have a good week. Replay this video or show so that you guys can just really absorb all the advice on juicing and taking care of your body and doing the energy clearing. So this was really good for the body, mind, and spirit. And so...
see you next week.